A long time ago, in high school, I actually wanted to be some sort of advocate for children. And so I thought that I would want to be a motivational speaker or that I would want to be some sort of children's advocate in law. One of my teachers in 8th grade, Tammy Sutton, who I admire and I love, she's one of my mentors, she sort of just was the person to influence and impact this decision the most. And so I get to, do this work every day, in which it's work that's challenging, but I definitely love it. I think that racism, especially in today's terms, is pretty nuanced, and it's just, I don't know that it's as overt as it once was. I ask my students, when you think about me and when you think about, and I won't say the other teacher's name, but when you think about this other teacher, she is a white colleague of mine, so who do you think is the smarter person, the more qualified person? And my students, without hesitation, said my white colleague. And I think that I was devastated because here you have these kids who look like you, and that was the sad part. But they actually did not think that a person who looked like them was as successful as a white person. We do a poetry slam every year. We've done it for years. That's all about student voice. Our students get to talk about things such as race and other forms of discrimination. Last year, my students created podcasts that are featured on YouTube. And in these podcasts, they talked about all sorts of things. And a lot of them talked about race. This was all types of students, all diverse. And I think it's important to make sure that we get that student input on those things. All we have to do is facilitate that, and sort of just create the space for those conversations to happen. What gives me hope right now is the conversations followed up by the action. That action piece and those actionable steps are so important when you start to think about change. And I think that we all have a responsibility, no matter who you are, wherever you are, that there's always room. So no matter if you're an educator, a student, a clergy person, a police officer, a scientist, doctor, no matter what you do in this community, there's always room for you to gear your work to progressive and radical change.